I'm Justin Smith. I just turned 18, just graduated from high school, and I've reached voting age, and I know a lot about Bob Byrd, who's running for U.S. Senate, and I'm just going out and about to kind of find out what people think of him. Bob was my teacher for 2 years. He taught me U.S. history, government, and Alaska studies. I think we need him in the Senate. So I hope to find out that other people agree, and hope to find out if they think differently and why, or try to convince them maybe. Try to find out more of who Bob Byrd is.
My name is Mark Osterman. I'm an attorney. I met Bob Byrd in, I think, 2000 or 2001. We had both gotten parts in The Music Man. Bob brings with him a great deal of knowledge. He's got the religious and moral background that it's going to take to be an excellent candidate. He's not going to go out and sell himself to the highest bidder for political gain or fame, and he's not going to trade his vote for services through other organizations. We've already seen enough of that in Alaska. If you don't know your politician, you will not get that job, no matter how strong the desire to serve the public. That's why Bob Byrd is the better candidate to the political circle that's currently existed. It's time we get rid of the old grumps and grouches that serve government for their own self-interest. It's time we get people that are interested in service to the community. How do we judge that? People like Bob Byrd, who've been an educator for 35 years, worked in the community, been a part of the community. These are the people that we need. People with a sense of service, not people with a sense of idiocy, of paternity, and of self-serving attitudes. We got to stop that.
Phil Moore, and I'm a public school teacher. I've worked with Bob Byrd as a colleague for 21 years. We both independently have come to the realization that there is minimal difference between the Republican and the Democratic parties. There is only a philosophical difference. There is no difference in action. We need to have a conservative choice. The other reason I'm supporting Bob is he's one of the most forthright men I know, a man whom I consider to be of the highest integrity.
Mike Boyle. I teach vocational education. What I have found about students that have taken Bob's class is that even though they may not agree with them, and they may not even particularly like them, they find what he has to say and what he does in class to be exciting, and oftentimes they'll find that to be their favorite class. They got a phone call and they did a poll, and they said, name recognition poll. And they asked my thoughts on Begich, my thoughts on Stevens, and I said, well, wait a minute, what about Bob Byrd?
Chris Palm, and I'm a pilot for Canine Aviation. He was my teacher in high school, taught me government and Alaska history. He's a lot of fun. Just going on road trips with him, he's great to talk to. He's so informative. We've done the 40-mile river from where it crosses the road on the Taylor Highway near Chicken. Drove up to Eagle, and we've gone caribou hunting a few times and ptarmigan hunting, and he's just a lot of fun. He stands for the Constitution and really stands for a lot of things that the other candidates don't.
The reason that we need people like Bob Byrd is because of the petty bureaucracies. You can't find the job unless you know somebody. You got to know the Godfather.
Bob and I don't agree at times, philosophically, politically, but he's always open. He's open to what other people believe, what other people feel.
Even if I didn't agree with every single thing that I've learned he and I agree on, I would still vote for him as a man of extreme integrity.
I think that as an American, the Constitution's the most important document that exists. It's the basis of our freedoms. It's purposely written so it can't be easily changed.
Even though I'm a science teacher, I am a public servant, and therefore need and frequently refer to the Constitution. It is my hope that the Supreme Court returns to, and the judiciary in general, to their role in our three-pronged government and quit usurping legislative powers.
I find it odd sometimes how the interpretation of the Constitution changes over a period of years.
I know that there are founding documents, and through his class I learned that the government really doesn't follow them anymore.
I'm fairly confident that our country is not following its Constitution, nor are our government officials currently fulfilling their mandates. And it's not happening just at the national level. It's occurring even at the state level. We see it in the courts, we see it in the borough assemblies, we see it in the city meetings, we see it in the legislature in Juneau. We see it in the administrative agencies that propel our lives daily. Every aspect of constitutional mandate is being disregarded, even by the police officer in the street who decides he's going to search you because you're under the age of 20 and he thinks that he can make you subject yourself to his requirements.
Mark Ostrom is a wealth of knowledge. Sitting down with him there just now, he's got a lot to say and he knows what he's talking about. He is a student of the Constitution and of what our government should be. There's a show I sometimes watch that has about lawyers, and one of them is supposedly a strong Democrat and one is a strong Republican, and I find myself agreeing more often with what the Democrat is arguing. One episode had a town wanting to secede, and the Republican was saying that is totally un-American, because we've got this idea that what American is blindly following the government, and it's sad, because that's not at all what it is, because what America stands for is the people and not the government, and the government's supposed to be there for the people aren't supposed to be there for the government.
How you doing, ma'am? I'm Bob Bird. I'm a school teacher from Keenan. The only thing I'll say is, the only thing government can give you that is of any use is freedom. We need to return to the Constitution, and this is why we're in a big mess. It's why we can't open up ANWR, and it's why we're getting federal dependency and control over our lives every day. Fight for freedom. Go to my website, www.birdforsenate.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob Bird.